Hi, my name's Danielle and welcome to this Hobsons Bay Library's Summer School Holiday Program. Before we get started, I'd just like to acknowledge that I'm recording this video on the lands of the Kulin Nation and I pay my respects to their elders past and present. Okay, so we are making some tissue paper flowers. Got a couple here in my bouquet and my vase. They look like this close up. And I'm going to talk you through how to make them. Right, so let's put these over here. You are going to need a few basic craft materials. We need for the stems of your flowers, you need some pipe cleaners. I've got some green and sparkly green and silver pipe cleaners here, but you can choose any color you've got. I've also, so that my flowers will sit nicely in their vase, stand up straight, I've used a chopstick. You can use any sticks that you have in hand or just use a lot of pipe cleaners to make them a bit more sturdy. But I tend to have at my house lots of these leftover takeaway chopstick packets, so I used one of those. You might have some sticks in your garden or some garden stakes or anything that you might have lying around. Okay, we are also going to need some tissue paper. You can buy tissue paper, or I often have a bit lying around from old shoe boxes, or if you ever received a birthday gift and you kept the paper for later. So some tissue paper, and you want it all to be more or less the same size, which is roughly A4 paper size for this project. And I've chosen lots of different colours because I like to have quite bright, colourful flowers. But again, that's completely up to you. Okay, you might also want to use a ruler so that you can check that your paper is roughly the right size. And I'm also going to use some scissors, but again, that's sort of optional. So use some scissors if you have an adult present to help you out, but otherwise you don't really need them. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take 10 pieces of tissue paper and I'm going to place them down on my flat surface on my table. So let's choose 10. And as I said, I like really colourful flowers, so I'm going to choose 10 different colours and mix them all together. So I've got my 10 sheets of tissue paper here and I've got them sort of lined up fairly neatly. And I'm going to fold them back and forth like a fan or like a concertina. And I will show you. So from this top short edge here. Like this. And like this. You see? So back and forth, fold them. Okay, so we've got our folded tissue paper. At this point, this is where you might want to use your scissors, but you've got 10 layers of folded tissue paper, so it can be a little bit tricky. So if you have little fingers, this is where you might want to get a grown-up to help you out. What I'm going to do is I'm going to trim the ends just to make them a nice shape. But to be honest, if you have a look here, I trimmed this one and I didn't trim this one, and it doesn't really make a huge difference. So you don't have to do this bit. But this is what I mean. Oof. I've made a rounded shape. I'll do the same on this end. Try not to hurt my fingers. There we go. So I've rounded my ends. And now that I've done that, I am going to take my tissue paper and fold it in the middle, like so. Okay, right. At this point, I'm going to put this down for a second. It should be all right. And I'm going to grab 3 pipe cleaners. So I'm going to choose 1 green, 1 sparkly green, and 1 silver. But you can choose any colors you like. I'm going to twist my pipe cleaners together. So I'm basically making 1 thick pipe cleaner, if that makes sense. Just sort of twist them. The beautiful thing about pipe cleaners is they will do anything you tell them to. Okay, so I've got my twisted pipe cleaner. I have got my folded in half tissue paper. And where the middle is, basically you want to wrap your pipe cleaner around, whoops. And this is going to be your flower stem. So I have wrapped it around and I'm going to, where am I? What am I going to do? I'm going to keep my tissue paper sort of flat like this, if that makes sense. And I'm going to seal my pipe cleaner through the middle. And the way I like to do it, see, is that going to work? Yes. I like to have my pipe cleaner in the bottom so that it works as a stem, if that makes sense. All right, so we sort of twist that, keeping everything in place. At this point, I'm going to open one of my chopstick packets, grab one of my chopsticks, and I'm going to twist that in as well. So I'm sort of going to twist my pipe cleaner around it. Might grab an extra pipe cleaner just to secure my chopstick in place. If you've got lots of pipe cleaners, you could use as many as you like. If you were feeling really ambitious and wanted to make this look as realistic as possible, you could use lots and lots of pipe cleaners and cover your whole stick so it was all green all the way down. But it's up to you. Okay, but basically I've got my tissue paper folded. It has a pipe cleaner, well, it has 3 pipe cleaners wrapped around the middle. There is a chopstick running down here with the pipe cleaners wrapped all the way around. And now we're going to turn this funny butterfly sort of looking thing into a beautiful flower. So this is where you have to be a little bit careful because tissue paper rips really easily. But also, if you rip the tissue paper a little bit, it's not going to be the end of the world. We are going to gently, gently pull a single sheet. So I've got a pale pink here. Pull a single sheet of tissue paper to the middle. And it's a little bit crumply. And then the next piece is an orange sheet. So I'm going to carefully separate that from the one next to it, pull it out, and I'm going to keep doing this until I reach roughly the halfway mark. So where am I? Try to get a single sheet of tissue paper, pull it out. Then to make sure I'm doing this evenly, because we want one big round flower, I'm going to turn this around. And I'm going to do the same on the other side. So I'm going to grab this layer, gently pull it here towards the middle. This layer, gently pull it towards the middle. And you can see I'm going to keep doing that. So what have I got? I've got 3 layers on this side so far, 3 layers on this side. and I have just ripped it, and so I'm just going to not worry about that bit and keep going. Okay, so that is one side of our flower, looking a bit more like a flower. And now I'm going to do the other side. All right, okay, so everything is sort of scrunched out, and now you just sort of fluff your flower so it looks a bit even and a bit more like a ball shape. And there you have it, a paper flower to add to your bouquet and last forever. One more thing, I've made another folded tissue paper flower, and this time I'm not going to use a stick. Instead, I have twisted together a few extra pipe cleaners, and I am going to make myself a flowery headdress. See if this works. So you can do anything you like with your flowers. You could make, you could use this bendy pipe cleaner bit to attach your flowers to your bedpost or somewhere in your room, or yeah, anything you like. You don't have to put them all in a vase like this. So let me just unfold my tissue paper ends. Hang on a second. Okay, fluffed, and I am going to make sure I don't get poked by any loose bits of pipe cleaner, and I am going to wrap my long bit of pipe cleaner around my head. And make a fancy headdress.